Welcome, distinguished congressmen. Welcome to Israel. Welcome to the Ministry of Defense. I'm glad to host you here. In your visit, you demonstrate the alliance and the friendship between our two countries. And we believe, as we usually say, that we share not just the same interest, but common values as well. And nowadays, talking about our tough neighborhood, the Middle East, which is characterized by chronic instability, this is the time to be able to meet new developing challenges. All kinds of radical Islam, whether it is ISIS or as it is called in the Middle East, Daesh, Hamas, Hezbollah, Al-Qaeda elements like in the Golan Heights, working across the border, and of course on top of it the Iranian threat, which is still the main generator, instigator for instability in the region, in the Middle East. We've just concluded the operation in the Gaza Strip, in which the performance of the Iron Dome was extraordinary in matters of saving Israeli lives, preventing damage, while absorbing for more than 4,000 rockets and mortar shells launched by Hamas, Palestinian Islamic Jihad, and other terror factions from the Gaza Strip. And just yesterday, the Patriot battery intercepted the unmanned air vehicle crossing the border in the Golan Heights as part of the civil war between the Syrian armed forces and all the militias, all kinds of militias, the rebels, the opposition troops fighting the Syrian armed forces. We don't allow any violation of our sovereignty in the Golan Heights or in any part of the country, and we are pleased to have the U.S. support. You are doing it on the Congress, and we have this kind of unique relationship between the Pentagon and the Ministry of Defense. My counterpart, my friend, the Secretary of Defense, Chuck Hagel. We share the observations, the analysis of the situation in the Middle East, and we believe that we know together, United States and Israel, what to do in order to meet it. So thank you very much for your support, and thank you to come to Israel to demonstrate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister. Thank you very much. I'm Ed Rouis from California. Elliot Engel from New York is the ranking member of our delegation. And we have a bipartisan delegation here, Dana Rohrabacher, Gregory Meeks. The reason we are here is to reflect the fact of our support, our bipartisan support, but also to spend some time to discuss with you the fact that this challenge that we face in the United States, that you face here with terrorism, is a challenge which, well, we discussed this last year. Elliot Engel and I were here to discuss with you, and then the Iron Dome. And watching the success of the Iron Dome has truly given us a great deal of relief in terms of the steps that have been taken to confront this type of terror. I need to share with you that in 2006, I was in Haifa when Haifa came under attack. And I know Elliot was here in 2006 as well. We've seen many changes since then, but in 2006 I went down to the Rambam Trauma Hospital. There were 600 victims there. And we know that without the Iron Dome, and without our joint effort with Israel developing the program and the United States being in partnership with the program and Congress's support for the Iron Dome, you would not have the results that you did have. Instead, the casualties would have been very, very great. Before I turn this over to the ranking member, Elliot Engel, to speak, what I wanted to share with you, Minister, is sort of the reflection that we were talking about. The fact that in Israel, the investment went into the Iron Dome to protect its people. But with Hamas, the investment instead went into rockets for terror and into tunnels 3 miles deep into Israel's territory in order to carry out terrorist attacks. And then to compound the felony on the part of Hamas, they hide their Hamas leadership underground, and they use human shields above ground around the rocket launchers when they launch those attacks on Israel. We are here to show our solidarity with Israel, and we thank you, Minister, for this meeting today. Mr. Elliot Engel of New York.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Minister. It's great for me always to be in Israel, and it's great for you to know, which you know, but for us to say it again, the great friendship and the support people of the United States of America have for the state of Israel. We have many things in common, not the least of which is we are both democracies, and particularly Israel being the only democracy in the Middle East in a very difficult neighborhood. You should know, you do know, but I want to reiterate it, that there is strong bipartisan support for Israel in the United States. It continues, even with the difficulties of war. One of the last things we did in the Congress before we recessed for the summer break was to pass a reauthorization of money, to replenish the money for Iron Dome. It got over 420 positive votes, only 8 negative votes. That's phenomenal. It doesn't really happen. And we also passed a resolution, which the chairman and I sponsored, declaring the condemnation of Hamas using its people as human shields. That passed in the full House of Representatives with a voice vote, which means it was unanimous. And so I want you to know that the enduring friendship and support and admiration the people of the United States have for Israel continues very, very strongly. And we're all glad to be here, and Chairman Rouiz and I thought it was important for us to take this trip at this time to show again the strong bipartisan support that Israel has. Because we know in some parts of the world, in Europe and whatever, that's not the case. But it's the friendship between our two countries. I think that is the most important alliance, and we are going to make sure that it continues. So thank you so much.